One person who was not fit for office is Andrew Puzder. He is pulled out as President Trump's labor secretary nominee yesterday. Of course, that took place after a number of Republicans said they were skittish about voting for him, especially after news broke that the CEO of Hardee's and Carl's Jr. hired an undocumented worker as a housekeeper, plus a 1990 clip of his ex-wife on the Oprah Winfrey Show provided by the OWN network alleging Puzder was an abusive husband.
The most frightening thing was leaving, because once I made that break and once I made it public, and remember, my ex-husband was a public figure. Everyone knew him and knew what he was doing. And once I made that public, he vowed revenge. He said, "I will see you in the gutter. This will never be over. You will pay for this."
Now, Puzder denied her allegations. Also, low-wage earners at Puzder's burger joints recently rallied against his nomination, accusing the CEO of being against a $15 minimum wage, against the Affordable Care Act, even against a human workforce. Puzder was quoted in Business Insider as saying, quote, "We could have a restaurant that's focused on all natural products where you order on a kiosk, you pay with a credit or debit card, your order pops up and you never see a person." He also talked about why he liked robots, because he said they don't fall and trip, they don't file age, race, or sex discrimination lawsuits. He said, and they always are at work. Joining us in studios, Carmen Berkley of the AFL-CIO. Carmen, certainly labor had lots of concerns about Puzder being the person who was supposed to be there to protect workers as opposed to big business.
Absolutely, Roland. And this was a huge win for the labor community, for workers, and for women. I mean, you know, what we saw was a nominee for labor secretary who doesn't believe in a $15 minimum wage, which we know still isn't even enough for the American worker, someone that didn't care about the overtime rule. And, you know, as it pertains to women, I mean, this is somebody that was excited about having women eating burgers on bikinis. So we knew that Puzder was never going to be good for working people. And I'm happy that grassroots activism, women coming together, communities of color, labor unions coming together to say President Trump promised the American worker that we were going to bring back jobs to the United States. And so this is a part of holding President Trump's administration accountable to make sure that we have a labor secretary that stands up for American workers.
Well, and of course, this guy, when you have 12 Republicans who said they were skittish, clearly that was a problem. He was going to go down in a big-time defeat.
Absolutely, and that was across the aisle. I mean, we had senators from Georgia, from Alaska, and Maine, South Carolina, black and white, that were saying this is not a good deal. So I think, that, you know, as it pertains to a win, this was a huge win as it pertained to the nominations, because we've seen the labor community and the progressive community saying no to DeVos, no to Sessions, but this actually gives a lot of people who have been doing grassroots activism hope that when we get on the phones, when we go and we talk to our legislators, that we actually can make the changes needed to make sure that our country stays on track.
Carmen Berkley, we surely appreciate it. Thanks a lot.
Thank you.
Kickstart your day at 7 and get the news you need from the perspective you want. NewsOne Now with Roland Martin, every weekday morning at 7 on TV1.